Welcome to Fable and Fact. We're diving into one of the hottest topics on the toy scene today, Lego, the brick empire. How a tiny toy company conquered the world. How did a small workshop in Denmark transform into a global juggernaut, raking in billions and sparking joy in kids and adults alike? Get ready, because we're about to unpack the wild, bricktastic story of Lego's rise to the top. Let's kick things off with a jaw-dropping stat. In 2023, Lego's revenue hit nearly 66 billion Danish kroner. That's about 9.6 billion US dollars. Not 98 billion as some might exaggerate, but still an incredible haul for a toy company. Over the decades, they've churned out more than 700 billion Lego bricks. That's enough to give every person on Earth roughly 90 bricks to play with. Imagine the possibilities. These tiny plastic pieces have built a fortune and a fan base that's nothing short of legendary. But Lego isn't just about big numbers. Their sets can cost a pretty penny. Think $500 to $800 for the massive ones like the Millennium Falcon or the Titanic. And even at those prices, they're often sold out. Toy stores have to keep an eye out for shoplifters eyeing those colorful boxes. On the resale market, rare Lego minifigures, like the 2013 Comic-Con Spider-Man, can fetch hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. So, what's the secret sauce behind Lego's brick empire? Let's rewind the clock and find out. Picture this. It's 1932 in Billund, Denmark, a sleepy little town hit hard by the Great Depression. A carpenter named Ole Kirk Christiansen is just trying to make ends meet. He starts crafting wooden toys, cute little ducks, dogs, and pull-along animals to sell locally. Nothing fancy, just simple stuff to put smiles on kids' faces. He names his tiny operation Lego, a mashup of the Danish words leg god, meaning play well. Spoiler alert, that name's about to become a global icon. Fast forward a bit, and Ole's wooden toy gig is humming along. But here's a twist. The Lego brick we know today wasn't his brainchild. Back in 1939, a British company called Kiddicraft designed an interlocking brick and patented it. Ole caught wind of this idea and, in 1947, decided to jump into the plastic toy game. He even picked up the phone and called the Brits. "Hey, I'm a small-timer from Denmark. Mind if I make something like your bricks?" They gave him the green light with a cheerful, "Good luck!" So, he fired up his shiny new plastic molding machine and got to work. But those early bricks, they had a problem. They weren't sturdy. The design relied on friction from just 4 corners, so anything taller than a few layers would topple over like a house of cards. Ole and his team scratched their heads until 1958, when they cracked it. They added tiny tubes inside the bricks, little hollow cylinders that boosted the grip. Suddenly, those bricks locked together like they were meant to be. That tweak was a game changer. Today, a Lego brick from 1958 can snap onto one from 2023. Talk about timeless design. With this brick breakthrough, Lego's popularity took off like a rocket. In the 1960s, they rolled out the Lego Town series. Think little buildings, roads, and cars. Kids could build whole cities. Then came wheels, so those cities could have vehicles zooming around. By 1968, Lego was selling 18 million sets worldwide. To keep up, they built a small airport in Billund. Yep, the same town where it all started. That airstrip grew into Denmark's second busiest international airport. And in the same year, they opened Legoland, a theme park where everything's made of Lego. It started at 3 acres but ballooned to 24, becoming a must-see spot for families. The 1970s were even wilder. Lego introduced minifigures, those adorable little people with movable arms and legs. Suddenly, your Lego town had residents. New themes popped up like spaceships, castles, and pirates, each one cooler than the last. By 1990, Lego's revenue hit $500 million. They weren't just a toy company anymore. They were a global giant. But here's the thing. Even giants can stumble, and Lego was about to face some serious turbulence. Enter the 1990s. The toy world was changing fast. Video games and the internet were stealing kids' attention. Lego's patents had expired, so knockoffs flooded the market. Sales growth slowed to a crawl. In a panic, Lego tried everything. New themes, video games, magazines, clothing, even theme park expansions. They were throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something would stick. But it didn't. Costs soared, profits tanked, and in 1998, despite record sales of over $1 billion, Lego posted its first loss ever, about 40 million bucks in the red. Oof. By 2003, they were hemorrhaging cash, laying off 1,000 workers, and staring down bankruptcy. The brick empire was crumbling. But every comeback story needs a hero, right? In 2004, Lego tapped Jürgen Vig Knudstorp, a former McKinsey consultant, as their new CEO. This guy wasn't messing around. He looked at the mess and said, "We've got to get back to basics." He slashed the side hustles, goodbye to clothing lines and random games, and zeroed in on what Lego does best, those iconic bricks. But he didn't just stop at cutting costs. He had a bigger vision: reconnect with the fans. Knudstorp realized Lego's secret weapon wasn't just plastic, it was people. Kids, sure, but also a growing army of adult fans, dubbed AFOLs, adult fans of Lego. These weren't casual players. They were hardcore builders sharing epic creations online. At first, Lego wasn't sure what to make of them. Adults playing with toys? Won't that hurt our image? But as internet forums exploded, they saw the light. In 2005, Lego launched the Lego Ambassador program, picking 20 grown-up superfans to bridge the gap between the company and its community. It was like hiring an unpaid hype squad, and it worked. Then, in 2017, they doubled down with Lego Life, a social platform where anyone could share builds and ideas. Kids posted their wobbly towers, adults flexed with jaw-dropping models. Knudstorp once quipped, "We've got 120 designers, but maybe 120,000 volunteer ones." Lego started cranking out sets for grown-ups too, like the $500 Millennium Falcon, the $900 Titanic, and a $1,000 Eiffel Tower. These weren't toys. They were masterpieces. I've got a buddy who's obsessed. His living room's basically a Lego museum now. No space to walk, just bricks everywhere. This fan-first approach wasn't just feel-good fluff, it was smart business. Lego's edge isn't just quality or supply chains. It's designing sets that people can't resist. Not too easy, not too hard, just right, and fresh every year. By tapping into fan feedback, they turned customers into co-creators. It's a full-on ecosystem. Fans dream up ideas, Lego builds them, and everyone plays. That's a moat no competitor can cross. But Lego didn't stop there. They had more tricks up their sleeve. In 1999, they teamed up with Lucasfilm for Star Wars sets. Holy bricks, Batman, that was a hit. In the West, Star Wars is a cultural titan, and those sets flew off shelves. That success paved the way for more. Harry Potter, Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, you name it. In the Lego universe, Spider-Man hangs out with Batman and no one bats an eye. How do they pull that off when these brands are usually rivals? Simple. Lego's not stealing their thunder, it's amplifying it. Here's how it works. Say a Frozen set costs $100. Maybe $10 goes to Disney as a licensing fee. Anywhere from 5% to 20%, depending on the deal. For Disney, it's a no-brainer. Lego's quality won't tarnish their rep, and it's extra cash without cannibalizing their movies. Lego's like the ketchup of the toy world. Everyone wants a dip, whether you're Team Marvel or Team DC. By staying focused on their own brick-built sandbox, Lego keeps the peace and the profits flowing. Then there's the media magic. In 2014, the Lego movie burst onto screens, and whoa, it was a blockbuster. $468 million worldwide. It wasn't just a film, it was a 90-minute ad for Lego toys that didn't feel like an ad. Sales spiked, and even folks who hadn't touched a brick in years were hooked. Sequels followed, plus spin-offs and a reality show, Lego Masters, where builders compete for glory. That show's a hit in 20-plus countries, 4 seasons strong in the US and Australia alone. Add in a YouTube channel with videos racking up tens of millions of views, and you've got a marketing machine that's pure genius. So, did all this pay off? Oh yeah. After losing nearly $300 million in 2004, Lego flipped the script. By 2005, they were back in the black with $117 million in profit. Fast forward to 2023, revenues at $9.6 billion with $1.9 billion in profit. For a toy company, that's insane. And they did it without venture capital or Wall Street tricks. This is a family business, still 75% owned by the Kirk Christiansen clan, with 25% held by the Lego Foundation, which funds kids' education. No shareholders breathing down their neck, just steady, brick-by-brick growth. How do they make that money? Break it down, about a third of a set's price covers production, plastic, labor, machines. Another third's for sales and shipping. The rest? Overhead and profit, landing at a solid 25% margin. Not Apple level, but darn good for toys. And here's a cool twist. As a private company, LEGO spills the beans every year with detailed financial and sustainability reports. Most family firms play it close to the chest, but LEGO's like, hey, check out what we're up to. That openness builds trust, and fans love it. Speaking of sustainability, LEGO's going green. By 2030, they're aiming to make all bricks from recycled or plant-based materials. They're already testing eco-friendly prototypes, so your next set might just save the planet, one snap at a time. And get this, LEGO bricks are so precise that only 18 out of every million fail quality checks. That's why a 50-year-old brick still clicks with a brand new one. Oh, and the tallest LEGO tower ever? Over 114 feet, built with 500,000 bricks. That's dedication. LEGO's not just a money machine, though. It's a vibe. Schools use it to teach math, science, even teamwork. Artists craft mind-blowing sculptures. It's a cultural force. But at its heart, LEGO's about sparking joy. Whether you're a kid stacking your first tower or an adult recreating the Colosseum, it's pure, unfiltered creativity. No screens, no ads, just you and those bricks. In a world obsessed with tech, that's magic. Globally, LEGO's a champ, selling in 140-plus countries. In China, they've tailored sets and teamed up with Tencent for digital fun, cracking a tough market. Competitors like Mega Bloks try, but LEGO's quality and fandom keep them king. It's not just bricks, it's an experience. And with moves like LEGO Education, they're shaping young minds while raking in the dough. So, there you have it, the incredible journey of LEGO, from a tiny Danish workshop to a global toy empire. They built their success brick by brick, bounced back from the brink, and turned fans into family. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of LEGO, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Fable and Fact, and ring the bell for more awesome content. Until next time, keep building your dreams.